To live is to suffer. To survive is to live and find meaning in the suffering. So why is it that we suffer? Suffer and pain are some of our greatest teachers. And when you're going through withdrawals, it is suffering. It is pain. It's very uncomfortable to go through withdrawals. But there's a reason why. Our bodies are extremely intelligent. Our body knows exactly what to do to get us back on course, to heal us. Our body knows exactly what to do, how to heal us, regardless of what the situation is. We just have to give it a chance to allow it to heal itself. And there's a lot of very deeper meanings beyond just the surface level in why we experience certain sensations in our life, such as why you get a fever when you're sick. There's deeper meanings behind all of that. Just like there is deeper meanings behind why that we suffer when we go through withdrawals. And the deeper meaning behind it is that it is our body trying to teach us, hopefully giving us enough pain and suffering that it'll instill in us the knowledge, the lesson, not to go back down a destructive path that we went to. And that is why it's important to go through the suffering, not to mask it. And this is a big one why I'm a proponent of cold turkey when it comes to breaking addictions, whether it's caffeine or marijuana or whatever it is, to go through that suffering. That way you vividly remember the pain that you had to go through to free yourself. If you make it too easy, then you don't really experience the consequence. And consequences are very important, studying consequences. Because the laws of nature are the laws of nature, the laws of God, spiritual laws. Those are really the most important laws. And when you break laws, there are consequences. Just like I'm driving right now, if I were to break the law and run through some red lights, there would be consequences for that. I would get a ticket, thrown in jail, whatever. There are consequences for breaking the law. And when I follow the law, if I drive safely and I draw in accordance with the law, then I'm also protected by the law. I'm guaranteed success. And the same thing goes with the natural laws as well, and the spiritual laws and the laws of God. If you break the laws of nature, then there are consequences for that as well. For example, if you break the laws of nature and how we are supposed to eat, then the consequences, various forms of sickness, obesity, etc., etc. Those are just natural consequences built in when you break the laws of nature. And when you abuse entheogens, plant medicines, drugs that do have their benefits when used respectfully, when you abuse them and you use them as an addict, then there are consequences for breaking the laws of nature. And one of those consequences is that of becoming cripplingly addicted to the substance. And when you go to break that addiction, the consequence is going through painful withdrawals and suffering. And so see this as a time of teaching, as a lesson. Suffering and pain is one of the greatest teachers of your life. I learned some of my best lessons and experiences from pain and suffering. When you go through pain, you'll never quite be the same again, and that's the point about it. Take a baby or a child, very unique, very precious. They haven't experienced a lot of pain. But then what happens as they get older? They experience different sets of pain. They touch their hand on the stove, they burn their hand, boom, pain. They learn not to do that. They, you go through heartbreak, you go through failures, different things happen in your life, and all those pains change you. They change you as a person, so you're never quite the same again. And so this suffering, this pain going through the withdrawal is to make you so that you're never the same again. And so be grateful for the suffering. Realize that you deserve it for breaking the laws of nature and for disrespecting the laws of nature. And that it's okay. It's not something to be upset about. I mean, yeah, be upset about it. Don't, I think it's better to look at yourself and be upset for your lack of obedience and your lack of discipline and falling out of line. But forgive yourself, be okay with it, and then embrace the suck, embrace the suffering. Go through it. Don't try to mask it. Embrace it. Go through it. Accept it. Realize that this is the sentence that you deserve for your actions that you've taken in your life. And it's okay. So embrace it. Realize that there's a deeper meaning behind the withdrawals. It's here to teach you. Go through it. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to mask it. Fortunately, with marijuana, the withdrawals are not as severe or as bad as a lot of other substances that you abused. But there still are withdrawals, but they're not. The hardest withdrawals is that of the psychological dependence, the mental. But the physical withdrawals, you'll get through that in the first couple of days to a week. And by the end of the first month, you're going to notice explosive new levels of energy in you. But you got to go through that suck, through that suffering, through that pain, in order to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. If we imagine just a tunnel like this, the light at the end of the tunnel, you got to go through that darkness. You can't, there's no way around it. You got to go through the darkness, through that pain and suffering to get to that light at the end of the tunnel. But it's worth it. I can assure you, it's absolutely worth it. When I go back and I read my old journal entries and how I used to be and how I felt, I'm so glad to be free. And that's why I'm committed to doing these videos and helping you guys to wake up and to help you guys through this process. No matter how deep of a hole that you're in, you can pull yourself out and you can come back stronger than you've ever been, and then you can turn your mess into a message to help other people. Leadership is born in times of crisis. So this crisis that you're going through, this problem that you're going through, there's a reason why you went through this, and that's the leader in you could be born, and that you could become stronger, that you could become the strongest version of yourself. So embrace the suck, guys. Go through the suffering. Stop trying to sugarcoat it. Stop trying to prolong it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Take the pain. Accept the life sentence. Accept the sentence. Not a life sentence. Accept the very short and minimal sentence that you're charged with for breaking the natural and spiritual laws. It's okay. Just go through it. Accept it. Stop trying to prolong it. The sooner that you can accept it and go through it, the sooner that you become free. And with that, I'm done. Hope you all having a great evening. Let's make it a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life.